Jason the Ween is always in disguise by Golf Cart. Subscribe. Drop a like.
Jason the Ween isn't one person, at least not in the way you think. Everything Jason does plays into a bigger performance, a career built on turning himself into different characters online.
Yeah, so Jason, like, I watched Jason back when he made his TikToks. This dude started making the cringiest TikToks imaginable. That was like his whole platform was just cringe-based content.
Sometimes he's a cringy TikToker, others he's an IRL streamer or a musical artist. It feels like every
Yeah, he just, like, what is this pause? What is this freeze frame? He just does so much stuff. It's a versatility.
few months, he's onto an entirely new thing. And yet, every time he changes character, the crowd gets bigger. But what if I told you none of it happened by accident? The cringe, the characters, the constant reinventions, all of it was a part of a plan. In truth, it was never about the views or fame. Jason was chasing something else.
I gotta be successful quick so that he can live a happier life, and I've never told him that.
Interesting.
For Jason Wynn, the American dream smelled a lot like acetone. It was the life his parents, immigrants from Vietnam, painstakingly built inside a small nail salon in Fort Worth, Texas. Jason spent plenty.
Fort Worth? I thought he grew up in Arlington. Where's Arlington? One Big E edit. Amen. Oh shoot. It is literally like right nearby. I don't know the Texas area.
Of afternoons there, doing homework on the counter with the buzz of nail drills in the background. He was a quiet kid, the kind that got straight A's, won spelling bees, and never really caused any trouble. From elementary school through high school, he mostly flew under the radar. But he couldn't ignore what he saw at home. His parents were older than everyone else's. They never took a day off, and every dollar they earned came from
Yeah, how old were Jason the Ween's parents when he was born? I know that they were old, like on the older end. So they had him at 44. So he's just worried. He talked about this on a podcast, the Iced Coffee podcast with what's that guy's name? These guys, their podcast. He talked about it, how they were just older than him.
Hunching over a manicure table. Somewhere along the way, he made himself a promise. Retire them. Get mom and dad out of that salon for good. The only problem was he was 15. No license, no job, no way to make real money. Then 2019 rolled around, and a new kind of gold rush showed up on his phone. It started when a company called ByteDance bought this massive but relatively dead app called Musical.ly. They gutted it, rebranded it, and TikTok was released.
Best thing to ever happen to that app. Musical.ly was trash garbage. TikTok was like Vine reinvented. Amnesia, I still be looking the Yeet mini collab. Oh my gosh, that was so long ago. I completely forgot that even existed. TikTok is like, in my eyes, Vine is still above TikTok as like the best short form content ever created. But TikTok has its second, like, no doubt.
The app as a whole worked differently than any other social platform. Videos were meant to be short, less than a minute in length. And instead of you, the user, choosing who to follow and what kind of content to see, the algorithm really chooses for you. Within a year of the release, TikTok hit the top of the download charts like a nuke. In the blink of an eye, you had kids like Charli D'Amelio, going from filming TikTok dances in her bedroom with 0 followers, to just a few months later moving to LA, starring in Hulu shows, Super Bowl commercials, signing multi-million-dollar deals with Dunkin', Hollister, and Morphe Cosmetics.
That's so wild. All that from TikTok, bro. How much money did they make? It's like straight bank.
And Jason thought, well, why not me? But here's the thing,
social you don't even hear about them now.
Media algorithms feed on flair. They boost the stuff that grabs your attention, creates urgency, stirs FOMO. And honestly, Jason didn't have that kind of personality. There wasn't much about him that really created conversations. So what does he do? Well, he became someone else.
My gosh. This arc. The digital footprint arc.
Now, this kind of seems a lot more like an Internet 101 video than a Jason the Ween documentary at this point. But pay attention because this all ties in here in a minute. You see, those cringy, over-the-top personalities online aren't anything new. Actually, it goes all the way back to 2009, to iCarly.
Charli D'Amelio.
Hey, it's Fred, and I'm gonna be on iCarly!
Fred is really one of the OGs of this. It's this annoying, polarizing, eccentric character, which love it or hate it, it stops your scroll. For whatever reason, it makes people comment, share, and talk about it. And we've seen this same strategy a million times since Fred. From Neon to iShowSpeed, it's a tried and true way to rack up some views on social media. And Jason weaponized this, creating some of the most hard to watch nails on a some views on social media. And Jason weaponized this, creating some of the most
Me after hearing someone talk about my small fragile girlfriend.
hard to watch nails on a chalkboard
POV, we are alone together and you slowly fall in love with me.
videos. It didn't really take too long before these TikToks were pulling in millions of views, and Jason was growing an actual audience. And with a few viral videos and a snowballing fan base came the sponsors.
Oh, I'm eating plant-based nuggets. You will?
For about a year or so, Jason kept up with this, creating cringy videos, trolling online, and for a while it was great. But then two problems hit. First, his TikTok accounts kept getting banned. No warnings, no appeals.
Yeah, I wonder why, bro. Probably because he pulled some crazy cringe thing. It was too far.
One day he'd have hundreds of thousands of followers, the next, gone. Deleted like they never existed.
TikTok, what's going on?
Second, even with the views, the money just wasn't there. TikTok was still too new. Brands weren't shelling out fat checks for sponsored posts yet. So after graduating high school, in that summer limbo before college started, Jason made a decision. If he wanted real money, like retire your parents' money, he had to pivot to a new platform. Twitch. Now, growing on Twitch, that's a different beast. It's not like TikTok where one lucky post can shoot you into the algorithmic stratosphere. Twitch is slow, brutal, and unforgiving. And in my opinion, it's probably the hardest platform to build an audience on.
And man, bro, Twitch is literally like the discoverability on Twitch is non-existent. If Twitch wants, in my opinion, if Twitch wants to continue as like the top live streaming platform, the discoverability needs to be just skyrocketed. TikTok, what's going on? Also, Ninja looks like he's on every drug imaginable right here.
Which is exactly why Jason had to get strategic. He'd been casually streaming since he was 14. Nothing serious, just testing out the waters, but in August of 2022, he made the call, fully committing his sights on streaming.
That was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and now he's skyrocketing.
And in his very first month, he averaged 71 viewers per stream. For Twitch, that's an incredibly promising start. But here's where Jason's strategy kicks in. You see, Jason had an audience on TikTok, 1 million followers to be exact, and he began the slow and steady process of converting those followers from TikTok to Twitch.
That's the thing. That's what I gotta do. We need to up the TikTok and then convert. That's what everyone does. That's what Joe Bart did. That's what Marlon did. That's what Jason did. That's what... Well, those are like the big three people who did that. But it's definitely a good thing to do. It's definitely a good course to take.
Next month, he would stream Valorant gameplay. But instead of keeping it one-dimensional, he got a bit creative. There was this website called ePal, where you could essentially pay girls to play video games with you. Weird.
I remember, bro, I watched Jason so long ago.
Yes, I know. But that was a part of the character, the bit that Jason played.
Nah, my pants! My pants!
He brought the same TikTok persona into these streams, awkward and always towing the line between cringe and comedy. He would try to rizz the girls up mid-game, leading to some of the most painfully uncomfortable moments imaginable. But that was the point. Jason wasn't just streaming to entertain live viewers, he was streaming for clips. After each stream, he'd post dozens of these videos to TikTok, and the views continued to snowball. Then the next time he'd start up a stream, he'd also go live on TikTok for the first hour or so. Then end the TikTok live and tell his followers if they wanted to keep watching to come over to Twitch. The brilliance of this two-step approach.
I'm writing that down. I can't even lie. I'm writing that down. Where is it? Go live on TikTok. Stop partway through. Tell people to pull up to Twitch. That is smart. I don't know how I never thought of that. That is actually genius.
Approach paid off, because by October of that same year, he was averaging over 1,000 viewers per stream and had nearly 25,000 followers on Twitch. From there, Jason only hit the gas. He began collaborating with bigger streamers like Prod, Sneeko, and Shanks. He began evolving his content to audiences broader than Valorant. He started hosting e-dates and added in IRL segments. But as 2022 came to an end and 2023 wrapped the corner, an entirely new shift to Jason's online presence came into the picture.
Every time I talk to you, my mind goes blank because you're just so beautiful, and I'm just like, I can't really think straight, you know what I mean?
Jason first met Eugen during what should have been just another e-dating stream. Something about her was different. The flirting and chemistry came naturally, and before long, their on-screen chemistry carried over into real life. They began dating, and for Jason, this was his first genuine relationship, and soon his audience was just invested in them as they were in him. These days, broadcasting your relationship online is almost like a growth hack, another way to hook viewers. But for Jason, it didn't work that way, because over the next year, his viewership actually became stagnant, hardly growing over the course of a year. So why am I mentioning this? Well, because in those moments with Eugen, at times the mask began to slip. Maybe he was just comfortable in the relationship, or was finally starting to feel comfortable in front of a camera. But viewers were beginning to see the more genuine side of Jason, especially during the breakup.
Over time, that's like where he changed though. That's where he shifted away from the e-dating content. Yeah, some people be on stream on both at the same time. Yeah, but I never thought about just I know you can multi-stream, but I didn't know about the idea of just stopping one halfway through and telling everyone to pull up if they want to keep watching. That's what's smart.
Having their relationship play out in front of thousands started to weigh on them. Jason's content.
So like right now, dash cam with the fives going on. If you don't know, Jason broke up with Sakura, and then this photo got leaked. This photo got leaked, and you know the parasocials go crazy. But he just wants like a private.
Still revolved around flirting with e-girls, and for Eugen, that was hard to ignore. Eventually, both decided to step away from the relationship, marking the end of a chapter that quietly reshaped how Jason came across to his audience. It's funny how life works, how sometimes what feels like a new low can be the exact moment you're on the brink of something higher. Over the next few months, Jason took every successful element from his streams and dialed it up to the max. He brought his Discord e-dates into the real world, traveling from state to state to host in-person dates with different girls. Sa, Selena, and Alyssa all became recurring.
This is the parasocial. They were like making there's like a stock market on which girl he would date. Or something. I don't know.
Personalities, and fans were quick to dub this era of content the Bop Arc. During this period, Jason's channel exploded in popularity. Just a month after his breakup, his average viewership nearly doubled, soaring from 2,700 to 5,300 viewers in what felt like a blink of an eye. And the growth didn't stop there. Stream after stream, the numbers kept climbing. While attending college full-time, he was streaming an average of 160 hours a month, pushing his momentum farther than ever before. But just beyond that wave of success was something even bigger, an opportunity that would take everything Jason had built and launch it into another universe. He was going to join FaZe Clan.
The subathon, bro. If there's one big thing for all those guys who are now in core, the subathon.
So you have to manhandle me, bro?
The FaZe subathon just upped it. All of them.
Man, what do I even do?
Spitballs, pranks, disruptive outbursts. Mogging? Normally, under these circumstances, you would be expelled immediately. But your father has given a very generous donation to the university.
My father?
Now, a little backstory. For those who don't know, FaZe Clan can be credited with pioneering a lot of what you see on social media today. What started as a small group of gamers making YouTube trick shot videos turned into something entirely new. Eventually, the group bought a house in New York and all moved in together, arguably creating the first content house the internet had ever seen. From there, things snowballed. By 2018, FaZe had stepped far beyond gaming. Their roster, icons like FaZe Banks, Temper, Rug, Adapt, Rain, and Apex were everywhere. They landed huge brand deals, made
Rug is rich.
the cover of Sports Illustrated, and even IPO'd at $1 billion valuation. But then the empire cracked. Now, we've got a video up on our channel that breaks down exactly how and why everything fell apart, but here's the short version. The founders had their equity diluted, corporate overvalued the company, put the wrong focus in the wrong places, the content went stale, fans stopped caring, and eventually FaZe went bankrupt. The founders managed to buy the brand back, and in early 2024, they set out to spark a full-scale revival.
Can't judge no one, but using little girls to get popular is a little odd. Who did that? Banks? Oh, Jason? It was, I don't know. It's a weird dynamic because that's like what if he didn't do that, he probably would have dropped off like heavily. You got to take risks. And you know, that was what he was known for. He just sort of went all in on it. And eventually he realized like it's not sustainable and he stopped. Which good on him. But yeah, it was a weird dynamic.
wiped the slate clean. Almost every single talent was dropped and a fresh roster was announced. For OG fans who'd been watching for years, the bar for the new faces of FaZe wasn't just high, it was astronomical. One by one, names were revealed, some familiar veterans and some complete newcomers. And on that short list, nestled among a handful of new recruits, was Jason the Ween. Truth be told, no one believed in the new group. For most fans,
And I think that Jason only got put in, this could be a complete lie, but I swear I heard that Jason only got put in because he was friends with Ron. And Ron like vouched for him or something.
this felt like just another lazy, corporate-driven
Jason, you bet, like I said, I don't know him or anything, but from what I've seen, just get a bad vibe. I see the appeal in him. Yeah, now his content is just amazing. The Bop arc was really... People did see it that way, definitely.
sellout. Exactly the kind of hollow move that had sunk FaZe in the first place.
What the f is that sorry-ass new FaZe clan lineup, man? Who the f are these people?
However, almost everyone was completely wrong about the new roster. Within weeks, public opinion began to flip. Clips of new FaZe started flooding TikTok, from trips to Tokyo to month-long subathons, and a steady stream of content both as a group and as individual creators. The momentum was undeniable.
That big lazy, bro! Oh!
Jason, in particular, was breaking into a whole new tier of mainstream success. In the closing hours of the month-long subathon, he hit 100,000 active Twitch subscribers.
100,000 active Twitch subscribers. So, just to get an idea at this, 100,000 active Twitch subscribers. Each subscriber nets you, so it costs them $5, but it nets you about 3.5, like $3.05. That is $28,000 a month off of just from Twitch. Actually, that's just the subs from Twitch. You also have ad revenue. You have people who have turbo. You have sponsorships. It's just wild, bro.
Overtaking streaming heavyweights like Kai Cenat and Jinxie, making him the #2 most subscribed to Twitch streamer in the world. And Jason went on to close out the year strong. His average viewership would climb to over 15,000 viewers per stream, a 474% increase from the start of the year. He closed in on 1 million followers on Twitch and even won the 2024 Breakout Streamer of the Year award.
6 months ago, I finally dropped out of school.
Well, I don't know anything about him back then or anything. I found out about him through Lacey and stuff. I don't know. That makes my opinion on him. But I don't know if that makes my opinion on him stay. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not.
Pursue streaming. And today I can say it was finally worth it. Breakout Streamer of the Year, let's go!
Up to this point, a lot of Jason's success had been built around the persona I've been talking about. The guy who will pull the most over-the-top stunts to rizz up girls, purely to send his chat into chaos.
It was straight, he shifted from straight digital footprint, like trying to be as cringe or as, just get that. It's not really a clip. It's sort of like that, but it's just to be as entertaining as possible in a cringe sort of way, where you can't look away. But now it's more just straight entertainment.
But there's a risk in leaning too heavily on one gimmick to keep people entertained. Take Fred, for example. At first, the high-pitched squeaky voice and hyper-edited ADHD-style videos were hilarious. People couldn't get enough, and it shot him into the spotlight. But over time, the bits started to feel repetitive, predictable, and eventually his audience moved on. At some point, Jason realized this, and decided to make a few changes.
But yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but the girl content has been slowing down.
Wait, why is the girl content slowing down?
Because, you know, I've realized.
Jason, girl content? Not happening? I'm not subbing anymore.
Wait, so you're quitting girl content? I'm not quitting, I'm just slowing down. I just feel like, you know, it's time to evolve.
Heading into 2025, Jason started taking off the mask. Instead of chasing whatever performance would go viral or playing solely to what the chat demanded, he began building streams around what he genuinely wanted to do. The exaggerated persona took a backseat, and his natural self started to come through on stream.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Asian YouTuber? Just say it, bro.
Right, Iga.
Niga. I didn't say it. That's his name. That's his name.
With the mask coming off,
Ads be like, take this weird pill for a very specific thing with side effects or your skill melting off. Yeah, bro, some of those, like, they say it so
his
fast
content
to-
stopped being
it's
confined to
wild.
4 walls, and the world itself became the stage. In South Korea, he met New Jeans, one of the biggest K-pop girl groups on the planet.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this is crazy.
From there, he took his journey to England, where things truly snowballed. Within days of landing, Jason was filming with some of the UK's biggest creators, Angry Ginge, Deji, and George Clarkey, before stepping in front of a camera for a Sidemen 20v1 video.
Wingardium Pregnoto.
You feel that?
For any creator, being featured in a Sidemen video is a huge milestone. But the momentum didn't stop there. Just before the shoot, news had broken that he'd joined the cast of Inside, a Netflix reality series created by the Sidemen themselves. And then came the moment that would put him in front of one of the largest audiences of his career, the Sidemen charity match. All 90,000 seats at Wembley sold out. Over 2.7 million tuned in live. The roster included titans like Mr. Beast, Logan Paul,
That's basically 90% ads on him.
Joe Speed, and Kai Cenat. And for the first time, Jason wasn't the weird kid trying to make a name for himself on social media. He was one of them. He was now a part of the club he once watched from the outside. He had the numbers, the clout, the collaborations, Wembley Stadium crowds, Netflix credits, his name alongside the biggest creators on the planet. But none of that was the finish line. Because long before the Twitch records, FaZe Clan, and charity matches, this all started in a small Texas suburb, with a quiet kid who promised himself one thing: retire mom and dad.
And then I stepped into the picture. I started below, but then I rise to the top. Slowly but surely, I made my name clear, written in the stars. We'll see.
My dad sacrificed a lot. My mom sacrificed a lot. Cause I think my dad would always tell me that if he stayed in Vietnam, he could have been like super rich, cause he had like businesses out there. But he moved there because, you know, he wanted to start a family with my mom and with me. So he kind of put everything onto me. And sometimes I would feel like I need to be successful due to,
yeah, brother, pressures.
You know, all my parents' sacrifices.
You see, success and sacrifices are like two faces on the same coin, inseparable, each defining the other. One side shapes you into someone capable of winning, while the other validates every hard choice you've made to get there. Think of just about any successful person, not the rare one-hit wonder, but the ones who've truly built something lasting.
That is the worst photo I have ever
any
seen.
Successful person, not the rare one-hit wonder, but the ones who've
Who took this photo? This is terrible.
Truly built something lasting. All of them have paid a steep price, a big chunk of their life traded away in exchange for a shot at the position they're in today. For Jason, sacrifice has worn many faces over the years, and since middle school, it's often come in the form of relationships.
Honestly, in middle school, they used to call me Chino because I was surrounded by a lot of Mexicans.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of Asians in my school, so I'd have to, you know, I guess adapt or learn new cultures. So that was also a struggle. Like sometimes I would be scared to speak Vietnamese on the phone because some kids, I knew they would make fun of me, things like that. But in middle school, I'd be like self-conscious.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd sometimes want to be like, I guess not want to be a different race, but like dress. I'd dress a certain way. I'd do my hair a certain way. Things like that.
I've seen the photos. But I can understand why. He had like a it was this one, I think. He had like the Mexican aura going on here. The Hispanic vibe. Just from living in Austin. Or not Austin. Arlington.
You mentioned that your dad had like left behind a lot of stuff to come here. Were you born there or born here?
Born here.
And you mentioned that like there was some amount of like pressure that you were feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the sense of you of like the clock is kind of ticking. I'm also getting the sense that your parents like sacrificed and you're like an only child. So it's kind of like, you know, you get one shot, right? And so kind of like it has to count. Like everything's on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So when you tell your parents, like, let's say like, I'm going to pretend to be you for a second. Okay. Let's do a little bit of role play. You okay with that? Hey, mom, dad, like I'm concerned that y'all are getting a little bit older and I'd love to spend more time with y'all before, you know, it kind of gets too late. Like I know that y'all made a lot of sacrifices for me and I'm grateful for that. I feel like grateful and indebted to you, and you guys have done so much for me, and like I want to give that back, and I'm afraid that I'm running out of time to be able to give that back. So I feel like this immense pressure to be like really successful like today.
This is deep.
Because I don't have a whole lot of time to tell you how grateful I am.
Yeah, I'm pretending to be my dad?
Yeah, what's it like to hear that, first of all?
I feel really emotional. Feel like, damn, I should tell him that. I want him to know that this is why I'm doing this.
Since blowing up over the past couple of years, he kept that promise in motion. He's bought his parents new cars, surprised them with $10,000, and is now on the path to fully retiring them. For Jason, making content is about giving back to the people who've been in his corner since the start, not personal success or to stroke his own ego. Last year, he became Twitch's #1 most subscribed Asian creator, but instead of keeping the spotlight all to himself, he used his platform to highlight other Asian creators and musicians.
Ever since Jason the Ween has taken his next level, he's putting a lot of Asian people on for real.
In doing so, he's become more than just a streamer. He's become someone Asian kids growing up in America can look up to. Someone who proved you can be yourself and still win. And he's done it without bending to the old pressure to fit in. The very things he once tried to hide are now the things he stands out for. Jason's only 21, but his story's already proof enough. In the end, every sacrifice, every late night, every hard choice was worth it.
Still very young. Jason and Ween is always in disguise. Golf cart. W video, bro. W video.